Hi, welcome to our channel Group 10 EP4 Vlog. I'm Aini. You'll get to know my friend soon. Stay tuned. What is gender inequality? Gender inequality refers to unequal treatments or the perceptions of individuals based on their gender. It arises from the differences in socially constructed gender roles. Gender binary systems may reflect the inequalities that manifest in numerous dimensions of daily life. Gender inequality stems from the distinctions, whether empirically grounded or socially constructed.
So now let's talk about how gender inequality affects children, young people, adults, and other groups in society. First, children. Gender stereotype affect children's sense of self from a young age. Boys receive 8 times more attention in the classroom than girls. Girls receive 11% less pocket money than boys. Children classify jobs and activities as specific to boys or girls. Second, young people. Gender stereotypes affect behavior, study choice, ambition, and attitudes about relationship. Girls are less likely to take part in organized sport. Girls are less likely to do advanced math subject in their final years of school. Third, adults. Although more women than men complete tertiary education, their graduate salaries are lower. 1 in every 2 mothers experience discrimination during pregnancy or parental leave or when returning to work. Fourth, older people. Women retire with half superannuation savings of men. This affects women's financial security, health, and well-being. More older women are at risk of homelessness than men. And lastly, men. Traditional stereotypes are difficult for many men to live up to. They feel pressure to be a real man, to be physically and emotionally strong, and be the main income earner. Many workplaces don't offer men extended parental leave or flexible hours.
Okay, I'm going to tell you 5 causes of gender inequality. Number 1, uneven access to education. Around the world, women still have less access to education than men. 104 of young women between 15 to 24 will not finish primary school. That group makes up 58% of the people not completing that basic education. Of all the illiterate people in the world, 2 over 3 are women. When girls are not educated on the same level as boys, it has a huge effect on their future and the kinds of opportunities they'll get. Number 2, job segregation. One of the causes for gender inequality within employment is the division of jobs. In most societies, there's an inherent belief that men are simply better equipped to handle certain jobs. Most of the time, those are the jobs that pay the best. These discriminations results in lower income for women. Women also take on the primary responsibility for unpaid labor. So even as they participate in the paid workforce, they have extra work that they never get recognized financially. Number 3, lack of legal protections. According to research from the World Bank, over 1 billion women don't have legal protection against domestic sexual violence or domestic economic violence. Both have a significant impact on women's ability to thrive and live in freedom. In many countries, there's also a lack of legal protections against harassment in the workplace, at school, and in public. These places become unsafe, and without protection, women frequently have to make decisions that compromise and limit their goals. Number 4, poor medical care. Women overall receive lower quality medical care than men. This is linked to other gender inequality reasons such as lack of education and job opportunities, which result in more women being in poverty. They are less likely to be able to afford good healthcare. There's also been less research into diseases that affect women more than men, such as autoimmune disorders and chronic pain conditions. Many women are experiencing discrimination and dismissal from their doctors, broadening the gender gap in healthcare quality. Lastly, number 5, societal mindsets. It's less tangible than some of the other causes on this list, but the overall mindset of a society has a significant impact on gender inequality. How society determines the differences and the value of men versus women plays a starring role in every arena, whether it's employment or the legal system or healthcare. Belief about gender run deep, and even though progress can be made through laws and structural changes, there's often a pushback following times of major change. It's also common for everyone, men and women, to ignore other areas of gender inequality when there's progress, such as better representation for women in leadership. These types of mindsets prop up gender inequality and delay significant.
Next is an example of gender inequality. First, violence against women. The socially and culturally built hierarchy between the genders hold certain power relationship. Usually, men are socially regarded as being of higher value. This asymmetrical situation is present in many areas of social life and can lead to violence, physical, verbal, or psychological. Studies show that more than 1/3 of the women around the world have experienced violence at some point in their life, and it can happen at workplace. Second, sexual harassment. Sexual harassment is a form of violence that through a show of a power intimidates, humiliates, and affects another person's dignity. This behavior is sexual in nature. Physical contact, sexual advance, comments and joke with social content, exhibiting pornographic material, or making inappropriate comments, and undesired. It is perceived by the victim as a condition to keep the job, or as the one that creates a hostile, intimidating and humiliating work environment. Third, women health. Health is a universal human right. That's why, irrespective of religion, age, or where we live, we have a right to the information and the healthcare service that allow us to care of our bodies and our quality of life. It is not just being free of illness, but also having access to a reasonable standards of living, housing, food, decent work, as well as appropriate level of medical assistance so that we can develop our full potential as individuals. To be able to truly achieve gender equality, we need to look at the health and well-being of women. This is precondition for the promotion of the sustainable growth of our communities.
Hi, my name is Nur Wahida binti Muhammad Adnan from the course of Pengajar Malaysia, metric number D201820866392 from semester 4. Today, I will talk about how to address the issue of gender inequality. Among the ways to overcome the issue of gender inequality is an education in the family. As usual, the daughter is considered weak, while the boy is considered so strong that the homework is complete handed over to the daughter. The matter can be done by both of them, men and women, but the matter has become the norm in life until it is said to be the nature of gender. This has caused discrimination against women. As parents, one should not be better because in the modern world today women also through education. If in the past education among women was not appreciated because it is limited by the norm created by our society. After marriage, a woman will be in the kitchen only, but now no more. Many women are high education and by career on par with men, even ahead of them. Next, through the law, it's clear that in the past, the opinion of a woman will be never accepted, but now national law has approved the right of women who seem not to have a gender inequality. It can be said that women and men must have inequality even in a voting election. Women are allowed to make a decision just like men, so that there is not discrimination. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Kalivani and I am going to tell you what are you going to do if you saw any gender discriminations that is happening around you. So in first case, if you are a girl, you can stay in school, help empower your female classmates to do the same and fight for your right to access sexual and reproductive health service. In second case, if you are a woman, you can address unconscious bias and implicit associations that form an uninvented and often an invisible barrier to equal opportunity. In third case, if you're a boy or a man, you can work along women's sides and girls to achieve gender equalities and embrace healthy and respectful relationships. You can fund education campaign to craft culture practice like female genetical mutilations and change harmful law that limit the rights of the women and girls and prevent them to achieving their full potentials. Now let's see what happens if gender equality is not ensured. Inequalities can faces by most of the girls around the world can begin right after their birth and follow them all their lives. In some countries, girls are deprived to access to healthcare or proper nutrition, leading to a higher mortality rate. As girls are moving into adolescence, gender discriminations are getting wider. Child marriage affects girls more than boys. Globally, over 15 million girls are married under the age of 18. Marrying late also affecting the girls' education and how the society sees them. So I hope you guys has enjoying watching. Don't forget to subscribe our channel.